Hey guys, this is Mrs. Harbin, and this is Chapter 4 about Inequalities, Section 4.7, which is actually the end of this chapter. It's a very quick chapter. I think you guys will fly through this really quickly here. We are looking today at absolute value inequalities. Last class we looked at absolute value equations with an equal sign, and absolute value inequalities are not too different. We're just going to replace that equal sign now with an inequality sign, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, but many of the steps are the same, so I don't think you guys will have a whole lot of trouble with it. Our lesson objective for today is that you, the student, will solve absolute value inequalities. So as a reminder, the absolute value of a number or an expression refers to its distance from the origin being 0. We can change that origin. We looked at that last class. Basically it's distance. Absolute value is the distance away from a point, usually the origin. This is going to help us interpret absolute value inequalities if we remember that and keep that in the back of our minds. To find the solution of this inequality, absolute value of x is less than 3, we must find the numbers whose distance from the origin is less than 3. Now, logically, let's think through that mentally here. We know that 2 is less than 3 away from the origin, and 1 is less than 3 away from the origin. So it's -1 and -2. So we have lots of different numbers who have an absolute value less than 3. -2, 1.5, 0, -0.5. Those are just some of the numbers in addition to the ones that I said. When we graph that on our number line, we know that it's not going to include 3 or -3 because those are equal to an absolute value of 3. We want less than an absolute value of 3. So we're going to do an open circle at our 2 points here, 3 and -3. And we know that all of these numbers in between our 2 points are going to have an absolute value that is less than 3. This is equivalent to saying that x is greater than -3 and x is less than 3. Going back to our conjunctions here. If we were to graph these two separately, we would have x is greater than -3 going this way, and x is less than 3 going this way. And our conjunction wants to know what values work for both one inequality and the other. And then there is our conjunction here. X is greater than -3 or less than 3. The solution to this absolute value inequality, absolute value of x is greater than or equal to 3, includes all the numbers whose distance from the origin is greater than or equal to 3. Well, let's think about those mentally. 4, 5, 6, those all have absolute value greater than 3. So does -4, -5, -6. Those all have absolute values. So we know that on one side, anything greater than or equal to 3 has an absolute value greater than or equal to 3. And our negative side, anything less than -3 has an absolute value greater than or equal to 3. So this is going to look like a disjunction. We're not going to have an overlap here, but we're going to have our graph going in two separate directions. This is equivalent to saying x is less than or equal to -3 or x is greater than or equal to 3. So we've got our disjunction here. All right, so let's summarize this rule here. If the absolute value of x is greater than a, then we're going to have a disjunction. If it's greater than or equal to, we're going to have a disjunction here. We're going to have lines going two different directions. We've got our or here. It's either this or that. If x is less than, absolute value of x is less than a, less than or equal to, then we are going to have a conjunction. So it's going to be both this and this. And our graph is going to look something like this. 2 endpoints with a line in the middle. So less than is a conjunction, greater than is a disjunction. All right, let's take a look at an example. The absolute value of x is greater than 1. Now, I know that you can probably solve some of these mentally. But we want to start with some easy ones to make sure we get the procedures right so that when we get to more difficult ones, we're still able to follow those same procedures. But going mentally, what are some numbers that have an absolute value greater than 1? 2, 3, 4, -2, -3, -4. So we've got this greater than sign here. That tells us it's going to be a graph that goes in 2 different directions. We know that x is going to be greater than 1, or, flip our sign, x is less than -1. Now, before when we wrote our 2 different equations, we didn't have to flip the sign. But when we're dealing with the negative in inequalities, we've got to flip that sign. So x is either going to be greater than 1, that's this piece over here, or it's going to be less than -1, which is that piece over there. Let's see what that looks like when we graph it. We've got x is greater than 1 going here to the right, and x is less than -1 going here to the left. And that is our solution right there. That's where we stop. Let's take absolute value of x is less than or equal to 4. We know that x is going to be less than or equal to 4 and greater than equal to -4. So this is a conjunction. It's going to be less than or equal to 4 and, flip our sign, greater than or equal to -4. Let's write those as 2 so you can see that. We've got x is less than or equal to 4 and x is greater than or equal to -4, again, because we're setting it here to negative. We made it a negative, so we've got to flip that sign there. And when we graph those 2, you'll see that we've got this nice conjunction, that it's less than or equal to 4 going this way, and greater than or equal to -4 going this way. So we've got a nice conjunction there. What about x plus 5? Absolute value of x plus 5 is less than or equal to 10. Let's go ahead and write our 2 equations. X plus 5 is less than or equal to 10, and x plus 5 is greater than or equal to -10. When we set it equal to a negative, we've got to flip that sign. We'll solve both of those for x, and we find out that x is less than or equal to 5, and x is greater than or equal to -15. Therefore, x must be less than or equal to 5 and greater than or equal to 15. We can write that as one solution. If we were to graph that on a number line here, we'd have it's greater than -15, greater than or equal to. So solid dot there, but it's less than or equal to 5. So solid dot on the 5, and all of these values in between then would satisfy that equation or that inequality. Example 3 says the absolute value of -3x plus 6 is greater than 18. Step 1, let's go ahead and set that equal to 2 different inequalities. -3x plus 6 is greater than 18, or -3x plus 6 is, flip that sign, less than -18. Solving for x in both of these inequalities, we get x is less than -4, or x is greater than 8. Okay, we're going to have greater than, we're going to have our graph going 2 different directions. Greater than goes 2 different directions. So we've got one graph going to the left and one graph going to the right. We cannot write our solution set as one inequality like we did with conjunctions. Okay, when dealing with absolute value inequalities, be sure that the absolute value is isolated, so it's all by itself on one side of the inequality symbol before you write the 2 separate inequalities. This is true of equations, and it's also true here. So we need to make sure that we isolate using those steps. Simplify anything in the absolute value brackets, isolate the absolute value, and then set it to the 2 inequalities, the positive and the negative. Today, we solved absolute value inequalities, and we went through all the steps of setting it equal to 2 different values, both a positive and negative. Don't forget, or not equal to, sorry, we set the expression greater than or less than, whatever the numbers were. Don't forget when you are writing that second expression, where you're using the negative value, you've got to flip that sign. Don't forget about that. Also, don't forget that when we have less than, or equal to as our absolute value inequality, then our type of solution is going to be a conjunction, and our graph will look something like this. When we have greater than or equal to, we're going to have a disjunction, and our graph will go in two different directions. There is a little chart that summarizes that on page 174 of your books, where you can just write that down in your notes. Maybe you can come up with a good memory trick to help you remember those things. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me next class.